Alrighty, so I just went to the theaters and saw the new Dev Patel starring and directing feature Monkey Man. So let's get into it. This is a revenge flick that is actually deeper than most other revenge flicks, which leads to some very interesting choices in the storytelling. And while I understand why it has all these steps, I think the first act and the third act are really solid, but the second act just feels like it drags. And it kind of just slows all progress because they hit the ground running in the first act, and had they slower build up to what they were trying to achieve and make that mix it in with elements of the growing in from the second act into the first act and mix those two acts together so that it can feel a little more better paced, I think it would have been a better film. But my main issue is that it's just great first act that really just sets the pacing for everything, and I'm like, oh, so it's gonna be like fast paced, and then second act happens and it just slows down so much. And in its slowing down, I actually started losing my thought process on what was going on. So I think that the story could have been better constructed and paced out so that way we understood better the motivations and it didn't just feel like it just died. And I guess it's kind of on purpose, I'm unsure, but it just didn't work well for me personally. So a Hot Pocket score there. Cinematics, I think that the shot composition in most of these scenes was absolutely stunning. The use of lighting and different colored lights and all that, like, it was so good, and the music choices was solid. I do think that they didn't use their score as to its fullest potential, but that might just be me after hearing so many movies with brilliant scores and them using it so effectively and efficiently that I'm starting to notice that a little more in my films. But yeah, cinematics, I'll give a hand grenade score. Directing, I think this is so well directed. Dev Patel, the director, does a great job, and I kind of want to see him do more action movies. And it's so interesting. I really like how it's directed. He really set up some amazing shots, as I was saying already. But like I said, pacing wise, I do think it requires a little bit of work. But I'll still give him a hand grenade score there. Acting. My main issue with the acting is, I don't know if it's an acting problem or a sound design problem, but there were so many moments in this movie where it just sounded like the characters were mumbling, so I did not comprehend a single word they said. And that made it very difficult to try to fully understand motivations, because sometimes I just didn't understand what they were saying. I heard that they were talking, but I just did not understand what they were saying. And some scenes had closed captioning. And of course, those were the moments where I did comprehend, like I was hearing them. I wasn't understanding them because they weren't speaking English. But luckily, there was those closed captions, which honestly, an open caption version of this movie might be the best. But yeah, I'll give a Hot Pocket score here just because there wasn't that standout performance for me like a lot of other movies have, but still pretty solid. My expectations and experience, this was a fine ride. I had people who loved it more than I did, and I'm all for that. I'm being a little more picky with my films, I guess, this year, because I'm not liking some movies that others are absolutely loving, while others are hating movies that I'm absolutely loving. It's just one of those types of years, you know. This one is really a free for all in terms of the films. But yeah, I will say that this is a certified Hot Pocket movie, a movie that you should definitely see at least once. But there really, I don't see a reason to keep rewatching it personally. But I did enjoy it for my one watch. That's pretty much all I have to say. If you enjoyed, leave a like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll leave you guys to it.